A very good morning to you all students. So today we will continue with the same chapter, that is tissues. Please open page number 73. Okay, now we will come to complex permanent tissue. You all know that there are two types of tissue. One is simple permanent tissue, another one is complex permanent tissue. So you all know what is a simple permanent tissue. In simple permanent tissue, only one type of cells are present, like sclerenchyma, collenchyma and parenchyma. Okay. Now other than simple permanent tissue, there is another type of tissue which is called as complex permanent tissue. Complex perma. Okay, so this is the complex permanent tissue which consists of more than one type of cells. For example, phloem and xylem. Okay, so they are the complex permanent tissue. Okay, now please see here page number 72. And this complex permanent tissue, the phloem and xylem are the complex permanent tissue, and they consist of more than one type of cells. Okay, and in this complex permanent tissue, as this tissue consists of more than one type of cells, so in these tissues, these tissues, they perform, all the cells of these tissue, they perform a common function. Okay, so phloem and xylem, they are two different tissues, but the cells, they perform a common function. Okay, so all the cells of both the tissues, that is phloem and xylem, since they are made up of different types of cells, then also those different types of cells, they coordinate with each other towards a common function. Okay, now this phloem and xylem, they both are conducting. They both are conducting means they both transfers the material, okay, from one part of the plant to other part of the plant. This phloem, it helps in the conduction of or transport of food from the leaves to the different part of the plants, and xylem, it helps in transport of water from different water to different parts of the plant. Okay, and this phloem and xylem together, they are called as vascular bundles or vascular tissues. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Now we come to xylem. Now, as you know that these are the complex permanent tissue. Now this is xylem, but this xylem, it consists of more than one different types of cells. So the cells which is present in xylem are tracheids. Okay, just see here the cells present in xylem here. They are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. See here, tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. Now these tracheids and vessels, the tracheids and vessels, they have thick walls. Okay, and they are dead cells. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Just underline xylem, it consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers, and these tracheids and vessels, they are thick walled. Okay, and generally they are dead cells here. And these tracheids and xylem, they are tubular. Okay, they are tubular structures. Okay, like this, so that they can transport water from the soil to other parts of the plants. Okay, and like this parenchyma, it stores food, and xylem fibers, it is supportive in function. So tracheids and vessels, they are tubular in nature. Okay, in structure. Now we come to phloem. Now this phloem is made up of 5 types of cells: sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Phloem parenchyma, it stores food. Phloem fibers give supports, and here sieve tubes are tubular cells. Okay, and phloem, it transports food from the leaves to other parts of the plants. So here students, now you see in xylem and phloem, it is made up of different types of cells, but they all have a common function. Okay, to to transport water. Like in xylem, tracheas and vessels, they generally, their function is to transport water. Okay, and in case of phloem also. So all the cells, they coordinate towards a common function. Now we come to animal tissues. Now you all know that plant tissues and animal tissues are different. Now animals, they also have different types of cells which form different types of tissues. The tissues, different types of tissues which is formed, it depends mainly on the function of the animals. Now like animals, they walk, so they have muscles. So muscles consist of a muscular tissue, and muscular tissue consists of a muscle cells. So muscle cells, the group of muscle cells, they form muscular tissue which is present in the muscles. Okay, but it is not there in the plants. Okay, now just see this flow chart here. You just see, can you see clearly, all of you? Now this is an animal tissue. This animal tissue is of 5 types: epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Now epithelial tissue is generally protective in function. Okay, it forms the covering of the organs. So but this epithelial tissue, it is again of 4 types: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar and glandular epithelium. Okay, now second is the muscular tissue. This muscular tissue, now muscular tissue consists of muscle cells. Okay, so this muscular tissue is of 3 types, that is striated muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Then we come to connective tissue. This connective tissue, it is of following types: areolar tissue, adipose tissue, skeletal tissue, and fluid tissue. Areolar tissue is of 2 types: tendons and ligaments. Skeletal tissue is of 2 types: cartilage and bone, and fluid tissue is of blood and lymph. So blood and lymph are the fluid connective tissue. Understood? So epithelial, muscular, connective, and nervous tissue are the main 5 types of animal tissues, and then they have subparts. So we will start with epithelial tissue. Now students, just see here all of you. Epithelial tissue. What is epithelial tissue? Please underline. The covering or protective tissue in the animal body are epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues are protective in nature. That is why they form the covering of most of the organs or the cavities. Cavities, lining of the cavities, like suppose if this is a cavity, so here this epithelial tissue is present. Okay, so lining of the cavities. Epithelial covers most of the organs and cavities within the body, and it forms the like if epithelial tissue, it forms the covering of most of the organs, so that means it separates different organs. It forms barrier between the different organs. Okay, so it keeps different organs separate, because generally it forms covering of the organs. So it is present in skin, lining of the mouth, lining of the blood vessels, lung, alveoli, and kidney tubules. They all are made up of epithelial tissue, but as there are different types of epithelial tissue, so different types of epithelial tissue are present in these organs. Now students, epithelial tissue cells of the epithelial tissue, they are tightly packed. Okay, and there is no intercellular spaces between them. Cells are tightly packed, and since there is no intercellular spaces, they form a continuous sheet. Is it clear? And between the cells there is some cementing material which keeps the cells together. Okay, now this epithelial tissue, it is separated from the underlying tissue by a extracellular fibrous basement membrane. So there is a basement membrane, okay, which separates this epithelial tissue from the underlying tissue. You can see here. Can you see nicely? So this is that basement membrane, and this is the epithelial cells. So this basement membrane separates this tissue, okay, from the other tissues. Now you all know that epithelial tissue is of different types, like squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, then ciliated epithelium, glandular epithelium, cuboidal epithelium. So we will discuss these tissues one by one. Now first just see here this simple squamous epithelium. What is simple squamous epithelium? See, simple squamous epithelium, that is the epithelial tissue only. Okay. Now what are the general properties of the cells of epithelial tissue? That they are very close to each other, they are closely packed without any intercellular spaces, and they are very thin. So that is same for all different types of epithelial tissue. Now see here, simple squamous epithelial cells are extremely thin and flat, okay, and forms a delicate lining. The esophagus and the lining of the mouth are also covered with squamous epithelium. The skin which protects the body is also made up of squamous epithelium. The epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. So since they are arranged in the pattern of layers, the epithelial is called as stratified squamous epithelium. Now students, simple squamous epithelium, it consists of flat, highly thin cells. Okay, so the cells are thin and the cells are flat, and again here the cells are closely packed without any intercellular spaces, and it is present in the esophagus and the lining of the mouth. Okay, now this epithelial tissue, can you see this epithelial tissue? This is squamous epithelium. This epithelial tissue is also present in the skin, because epithelial tissue is protective in nature, so it generally forms the covering of the organs. So it is also present in the skin too as a protective tissue, but in skin it forms many layers. Okay, these many layers are also called as strata. So in skin, this squamous epithelium is called as stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, stratified because it is made up of many layers. Epithelial means it is protective in function, and squamous epithelium that the cells are flat and they are very close to each other, they are very thin. Okay, so you can see in this book also, here also you can see these are the cells, and the cells are closely packed and cells are thin. Okay, now we come to another type of tissue, epithelium tissue, that is columnar epithelium tissue. You can see here columnar epithelium. Here the cells, columnar means, what is the meaning of columnar? Means pillar like. Okay, it means pillar like, tall cells. So columnar epithelium, the cells are tall. Here again the cells are close to each other without any intercellular spaces. Okay, you can see here. So this is generally found in those regions where absorption and secretion occurs. Columnar epithelium, it is found in those regions where absorption and secretion occurs, like in the inner lining of the intestine. Tall epithelial cells are present in inner lining of the intestine, because in the intestine the absorption of food takes place. Okay, now in some places, like in respiratory tract, respiratory system, you see here in the respiratory tract, the columnar cells, they have hair like structure, projection, which is called as cilia. Can you see here students, which place in the respiratory tract it has a hair like projection which is called as cilia, and this cilia, it moves, and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. This type of epithelium is called as ciliated columnar epithelium. I hope it is clear to all the students. Columnar epithelium means tall cells which is found in the intestine where absorption takes place. There it is found. Now in the respiratory tract, this columnar cells, it has cilia which moves. Okay, and it also pushes the mucus forward to clear it. Okay, can you see here? This is columnar epithelium. Can you see? This is columnar epithelium. All those cells are tall, and it is found in that place where absorption takes place. So generally it is found in this intestine. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Now you can see in the respiratory tract, these are the columnar cells. It has this hair like projection which is present in the respiratory tract. It moves, and it also moves the mucus forward and clear the path. Okay, cleared, understood? So students, next, that is cuboidal epithelium, and then connective tissue and muscular tissue. Little is left that we will finish in the next class. Okay, so if you have any doubt or if anything is not clear to you, you can clarify your doubts during clarification session. Thank you students, have a nice